That was very nice. That must happen when you two walk into a restaurant together now. Just the place goes crazy.
That we go everywhere together.
You should.
We are
you
inseparable.
should go everywhere together.
It's working.
Especially public restrooms.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. Just come out of bathrooms together. A lot to talk about. Ben, I'll start with you.
Sure.
I'm curious. You get this iconic phone call, the call that everybody wants, every guy that grew up loving Batman wants. Will you be Batman? What was your response? The phone rings, and they're offering you the chance to be Batman.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first thing I thought was like, well, wait a minute, that's not, you know, I was thinking of them doing the sort of the origin story, the new Batman. He comes out, he rediscovers himself, he wants to avenge his parents' death, he fights the supervillain. I thought, that's not me, I'm not that Batman, you know?
Right.
And Zach was like, no, this guy, he's older, and he's really up, and he's broken down, and he's on the edge of moral bankruptcy. Like, oh, clearly your man.
That's
Say no more.
That's hilarious that you start the conversation by saying, no, I'm not Batman, you know? Which is what Bruce Wayne would say on that same phone call.
That's right. I was already in character.
I would know that if I got that call, it would be yes, yes, yes from the beginning, but you had your trepidations. And then what is obvious, seeing the film, is that it's the Frank Miller version of Batman, and there's a lot of fans.
That's what got me really excited, was it was that Dark Knight Returns version of the character, which is that kind of, you know, being seriously, that he's more broken down. He's kind of like a brawler, a heavyweight boxer in the 12th round, you know, guy who's torn up and at his kind of wit's end. And I thought there was something kind of cool and punchy and fun about that Frank Miller version.
Yeah, and I'm curious, because now I get to ask you the same question, Henry. This is the second time you've done the Superman outfit, but the first time you got the call that you could play Superman, what was your reaction?
Well, the first time I got the call, I actually missed it. I was playing World of Warcraft at the time, and I had my priorities straight.
Wait a minute. You were home. It's not like you weren't home. You were home, but you were playing World of Warcraft, and the phone rings, and you're like, I'll get that later?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get that later. And I was playing, it was an important part of a particular dungeon that I was going through. And it's cool now that I'm Superman.
Yeah.
And then I looked across at the last moment, and I saw Zack Snyder's name on the phone, so I grabbed the phone and then missed it.
Right.
And so I called him back immediately and said, I'm really sorry, I was saving someone's life, and I missed your call.
Which is what I do all the time.
And then he gave me the news.
So you were forgiven.
I was.
Yeah, that's good. Ben, there's a story out there that you met Christian Bale. You ran into him while both of you were shopping for, was it Halloween costumes?
Yeah, that's true, actually. I was shopping with my son and two daughters, and we were in one of those Halloween shops. You know, like they change seasonally, like they'll do Christmas stuff. So it was Halloween. I go in there. There's just this lady at the counter. She doesn't recognize me or doesn't care, you know. And and there's this other guy in there, and I hear like, "Hey, Ben, it's not you." And the first thing I turn around and look at is Christian Bale, and the first thing I thought was like, Christian Bale's British? It blew my mind.
That would throw me too, actually.
The guy's such a good actor. I think I've only seen him in movies playing the American accent, so I was, he was there with his, not buying costumes for himself, buying costumes for his.
You were both buying Batman costumes for yourselves. At a really low rent store. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's fantastic. So, and did he, okay, so at the time you knew you were going to be playing this role, did he give you advice? Did he tell you?
You know, I think he's a brilliant actor. I admire him enormously. I think he's fantastic. You know, and Chris Nolan did an amazing job with the previous version. So I was very much kind of like, oh man, we could never do, you know, what you did. And he was very sweet and very kind to me. And he was like, look, mate, just make sure you got a zipper in that suit. I couldn't piss for 3 movies in my suit. So...
That probably affected his acting, too.
That's why he was so mad.
Yeah, Christian's... He's just really, really irritated the whole time. What was your Henry, what was your family's reactions when you told them, okay, I'm going to play Superman?
I mean, everyone was pretty cool about it, apart from one nephew, who turned up at school wearing a Superman outfit. He was obviously proud.
How is he, like 35? How old is he?
He's 47 years
47,
old.
that's disturbing, yeah.
He's 7 years old at the time. And he was in school, and the teacher said, why are you not wearing your school uniform? And he said, well, because my uncle's Superman. And the teacher then said, no, okay, we don't tell lies in school. and you are to tell the truth. And he said, no, no, my Uncle Superman was adamant and stuck to his guns the entire time, and obviously the teacher told him off and punished him, and then afterwards called her my sister-in-law called her over when she was picking him up from school, and said, I'm really sorry, but he's been lying in school, and I think you should do something about it at home, have a talk with him. And my sister-in-law said, oh, I'm terribly sorry, what's he been lying about? She went, he's been saying that his uncle is Superman. To which my sister-in-law went, oh. Sorry about that.
Always a nice parent-teacher chat.
He's actually Superman.
Yeah, he is Superman. I'm just glad that they didn't start him on meds or anything. Like, that would be the scary. Don't worry, we took care of it. Yeah. He's on a very strong, you know...
Sedated.
Henry, you have said that playing Superman is a little like sex. You've said that, and maybe you can elaborate on that. You did say that you've got to get comfortable in the role first and then sort of expand.
I suppose it's about getting into a rhythm I may have been going with.
This time, the second time around, did it still feel like it's a little like getting into the rhythm? It's like sex, playing Superman?
It's like sex, but with a really aggressive partner.
In my experience, if somebody asks, do you bleed, don't have sex with them. It's not good.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, Andy.